Hello and welcome to this special bonus edition of Radically Rational Videos. This in response to the decision in the Deshaun Watson case. This is outrageous. This is the great train robbery. 6 games? Are you kidding me? That's Deflategate stuff. And let's not forget that Colin Kaepernick, for example, essentially lost his career for simply exercising a constitutional right in a dignified way. 6 games? Okay, now I'm going to do something I never do. I'm going full-blown grassy knoll on you. I had hinted at this in a video we shot earlier today before this decision. I found it very curious over the weekend when the NFLPA said, we're pledging not to appeal Judge Robertson's decision no matter what, and we're asking the NFL to do the same. Well, I guess you were. You were playing with house money. It is obvious to me that this was leaked and that the NFLPA, that Deshaun Watson, after all of this outrageousness, was going to get a 6-game suspension. Yeah, I bet they don't want to appeal that. Interesting. Now we're going to have to see what the NFL does. Just a brief refresher course on how this works. After Judge Robertson made her initial ruling, either side has the right to appeal. Well, the NFLPA officially has waived that. Now we're waiting to see what the NFL does. Now, it's clear that the NFLPA has got a bigger punch packed somewhere when they're threatening to sue the NFL in federal court for pretty much everything. All right, so they're trying to intimidate the Jolly Roger, and the next move is the NFL's. Here's what I think has to happen. Think about the problem that the NFL has with women in general right now, both through actual established facts and through optics. Think about that. And think about how outrageous women rightly are going to find this. So if there's any doubt in the commissioner's mind or the NFL's mind about whether they're going to appeal, in my mind they have to. Because we're now talking about something that will finitely damage the product and harm the shield. And another thing, just from a fan standpoint, I'm 68 years old. I can't remember the last time I was so excited about an NFL season. This should be a great season, and now this is all anybody's going to talk about. That damages the shield. Jolly Roger, you get paid $50 million plus every year to protect the shield, and if you're not going to protect it now, when are you? Now, you may not be aware of this. If the NFL, writ large, appeals this decision, you know who is the final, ultimate arbiter? The last word? That's right, the Jolly Roger. So it's going to be really interesting to see what he does. But 6 games for this? I tend to be on the conservative side. But this at least warranted an indefinite suspension of at least a year. And think about this. Deshaun Watson has profited wildly from his misbehavior. Think about this. He's got a $230 million guaranteed contract, the largest in NFL history. He's with a better team, at least for now. And now I'm going to tell you this, and you're going to lose your mind. This is why I think maybe some people were in on this a little bit. All right, so Deshaun Watson is a $230 million guaranteed contract, but you know how it was structured? It was structured for his first-year salary, meaning this season, to be $980,000. 6-game suspension. This whole thing, if it stands, cost Deshaun Watson $345,000 while he makes a guaranteed contract of $230 million. Your agent is pretty good. And by the way, had this happened when Watson was playing under his old contract with the Texans, this same suspension, which is still light, it would have cost him $11.1 million. Nobody wants to see a lot of litigation. Nobody wants to see a lot of headbutting. But if you're going to protect the shield, I don't think you have any choice but to appeal this. I find this completely outrageous. I don't think this is in the interest of the National Football League, and it's certainly not in the interest of football fans and people who care about justice. So we'll have to wait, Lord knows how long, to find out what the NFL plans to do. But in my mind, there is only one correct course of action. You have to appeal. And this sentence has to get much stiffer. And I say this as somebody who used to be an enormous fan of Deshaun Watson. We're radically rational.